Hello all, welcome to another quick learning. Today I'm going to be going over how to create random numbers in Excel. So there's two reasons why you might want to create random numbers that come to my mind. One is to create sample data. So you just want to test out your data. You have a specific format that you want to use with a different application and you just need some dummy data. You can use random numbers to fill that in. Another one is if you're doing something like a Monte Carlo simulation, you need to generate some random numbers so you can stick that into your distribution that you're using for that data point and spit out a number to use in the simulation. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So there's two functions that I'm kind of going to go over today. One is just the standard rand function, and that's going to give you a random number greater than or equal to 0 and less than 1, and it's evenly distributed. So when it says evenly distributed, what it means is you're likely to get any specific value the same frequency as any other between 0 and 1. Alright, so that's going to give you a random number. One thing to note is as you start clicking around and changing cells, these are going to recalculate because Excel is going to try and recalculate all the time. If you don't want it to recalculate, you can just copy it, Control C, and then paste values, and then those values will stay in place no matter what you do. The other function is if you want whole numbers instead of just kind of a percentage between 0 and 1, you can use the rand between function and then you give it a bottom. So let's say we're simulating a dice roll. The bottom would be 1 in a standard 6-sided die and 6 would be the top. So if we go ahead and do that, let's do it several times, and you'll see you'll get numbers from 1 to 6. If you do this enough times, you'll get basically an even distribution between 1 and 6. But because of statistical variations, if you only do it like 16 times, you might have some differences in the frequency. Okay. And then let's say you need to simulate values like 1, 5, 10, 15 that are not consecutive. You can also do that if you use, in conjunction with that, the index function. So the index function, you put in an array, a row number, and a column number, and I'll find that in there. So we're just going to pick the array here, which was the little table that we created. Whoops, sorry. I want to hit F4 to lock those cells. And then what we're going to do is use that rand between. So what rand between is going to select is a random number from 1 to 4, and that'll give us the row number that we're going to return. So we're going to start with 1, and we're going to go 4 because we have 4 items in this list. And then we don't need to specify the column because we're only using one column. And so if I simulate this several times, you see I get 1, 5, 10, or 15, and it should be evenly distributed again. So each one should have an equal frequency if you do it over enough times. Alright, so we looked at random number generation with the rand function, which gives you evenly distributed between 0 and 1, and then the rand between, which will give you whole numbers between your bottom and your top in an even distribution, and you can also use the index function with that to give you a non-consecutive numbers to pull from. Alright, thank you very much.